Hello student, I'm Dr. Kanak and today we will learn new topic from subject pharmaceutical jurisprudence and the topic is medicinal and toilet preparations Excise Duty Act 1955, an act to provide for the levy and collection of duties of excise on medicinal and toilet preparations containing alcohol. The objective of this act is the Medicinal and Toilet Preparations Excise Duty Act 1955 was passed with the following objectives: to provide for the collection of levy and duties of excise on medicinal and toilet preparations containing alcohol, narcotic drugs, or maybe narcotics, to provide for uniformity in the rules and rates of excise duties level for on such preparations throughout the country, to provide the misuse of alcohol, its issue, transport and use should be controlled, to provide for exhaustive rules and provisions are provided to cover all type of preparations containing alcohol, including maybe homeopathic preparations. Now, here are a few definitions. The definitions in this act, unless the context otherwise requires, is number one, A is alcohol. Alcohol means ethyl alcohol of any strength and purity having the chemical composition C2H5OH. Second definition is of coca derivative. It means number one, a crude cocaine, that is any extract of coca leaf which can be used directly or indirectly for the manufacturing of. And the second, econine, that is levoeconine, having the chemical formula C9H15NO3H2O, and all the derivatives of levoeconine from which it can be recovered. And third is cocaine, that is methyl benzoyl levoeconine, having the chemical formula C17H21 and H21 and NO4, and its salt. Coca leaf means the leaf of any young twigs of any coca plant, that is of the erythroxylon coca palm and the erythroxylon novoganetins, that is called hern, and their derivatives, and of any other species of this genus which the central government may by notification in the official gazette declare to be coca plant for the purpose of this act. And fifth is any mixture thereof with or without neutral materials. And B is derivative of opium, means number one, medicinal opium, that is opium which has undergone the process necessary to adopt it for medicinal use. Number two is prepared opium, that is any product of opium obtained by any series of operations designed to transform opium into an extract suitable for smoking, and the dross or other residue remaining after opium is smoked. Number three, morphine, that is the principal alkaloid of opium, having the chemical formula C19H19NO3 and its salt and its derivatives. Now, what is dutiable goods? The definition of dutiable goods is, it means the medicinal and toilet preparations specified in the schedule as being subject to the duties of excise levied under this act. Excise officer means, what is the definition of excise officer? Officer of the excise department of any state, and includes any person empowered by the collecting government to exercise all or any of the power of an excise officer under this act. What is Indian hemp? The leaves, small stalk and flowering or fruiting tops of the Indian hemp plant, that is Cannabis sativa L, including all form known as Bhang, Siddhi or Ganja is called Indian hemp. Medicinal preparations. What is called medicinal preparations? It includes all drugs which are a remedy or prescriptions prepared for internal or external use of human being or animal, and all substances intended to be used for or in the treatment, mitigation or prevention of disease in human beings or animals is called medicinal preparations. Narcotic drugs or narcotic. It means a substance which is coca leaf, coca derivative, or opium, or derivative of opium, or Indian hemp, and shall include any other substance capable of causing or producing in human being dependence, tolerance, and withdrawal syndromes, and which the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, declare to be a narcotic or the narcotic drugs. Now, opium means the capsules of the poppy, Papaver somniferum L. L stand for latex, whether in their original form or cut, may be crushed or may be powdered, and whether or not juice has been extracted therefrom. The spontaneously coagulated juice of such capsules which has not been submitted to any manipulations other than those necessary for packing and transport, and any mixture with or without neutral materials of any of the above forms of opium and includes any derivative of opium is called opium. Now, this is one slide which I have made to make you more clear about what is called opium. Opium means poppy tears. I'll explain why it is called tears. Is a dried latex obtained from the seed capsule of the opium poppy, Papaver somniferum. Approximately 12% of opium is made up of the analgesic alkaloid morphine, which is processed chemically to produce heroin and other synthetic opioids for medicinal use and for illegal drug trade. The latex also contain the closely related opiates, codeine and heparin, and non-analgesic alkaloids such as papaverine and noscapine. The traditional labor-intensive method of obtaining the latex is to, what is latex? Latex is the white fluid, is to scratch the immature seed pod, maybe fruit, by hand. The latex leaks out and dries to a sticky yellowish residue that is later scraped off and dehydrated. It's called actually opium. For the illegal drug trade, the morphine is extracted from the opium latex, reducing the bulk weight by 88%. So, heroin is being prepared by the processing after morphine, from morphine, and which has 88% less weight than the morphine. It is then converted to heroin. Means it is heroin is illegal drug, and it is sailing through the smuggling. So the illegal drug trading may, the morphine is extracted from the opium latex. Morphine is extracted from the opium latex, reducing the bulk weight by 88%. It is then converted to heroin, which is almost 2 times as potent and increases the value by a similar factor. The reduced weight and bulk make it easier to smuggle. These are the few images through which you all will be able to visualize and to grasp the concept and how the opium is being extracted, which part of the fruit we are using as an opium, what is called latex. So this is actual opium garden. Here is the flowers of opium, and this is the fruit, or you may say seed pod of opium. This is a single seed pod of opium, and here you all are able to see the dried bulk seed pod. This is a seed, individual seed pod with its stalk, and it is dried one. And this is the small, very small seeds comes out from the seed pod, which is called posta dana. Now, see the how many information we can extract from this one slide. This is garden of opium plant. This is seed pod, a single seed pod, and something is oozing out from this fruit. As we in the previous slide, we have learned that from hand and from nail, it is traditionally a labor is making scratch on the immature seed pod, and where the sticky the latex leaks out. This is the latex which is oozing out from this fruit, and the labor is a lot of marks on this single seed pod can be made, and a lot of such kind of drops can be collected, and lately it gets dried and thickened as a yellow sticky material, which finally is getting dehydrated and purified in the to the preparation of actual morphine. So this is dried, and this is called posta dana, which is very healthier in the as an food ingredient. It is being used to prepare a lot of in the confectionaries like bread and cakes. So opium poppy seed pod exuding latex from a cut. We can see here. The product name is opium. The source of this pod is plant Papaver somniferum. Here we can see. And the part of plant from which opium is getting extracted is called latex. So these are the information we can extract from this one slide. So what is mean of prescribe means prescribed by rules made under this act is called prescribed word. So we have done with the medicinal preparation. Now this is toilet preparations. How can we define toilet preparations under this act? Toilet preparations means any preparations which is intended for use in the toilet of the human body or in perfuming apparel of any descriptions or any substance intended to cleanse, improve, or alter the complexion, skin, hair, or teeth, and includes deodorants and perfumes. So what are comes under the Toilet Preparation Acts? The preparations which is intended for use in the toilets. It may be perfuming item, it may be a cleansing item, it may be improving or alteration of complexion, it may be useful for skin, it may be any use of hair, it may be for teeth, or it may be for a fragrance like deodorants and perfumes. If any of such product is will come under the Toilet Preparation Act. Now duties, the new topic, duties and excise to be levied and collected on certain goods. There shall be levied duties on excise at the rates specified in the schedule on the dutiable goods manufactured in India. The duties aforesaid shall be leviable. Number 1. Where the dutiable goods are manufactured in bond in the state in which such goods are released from a bonded warehouse for home consumption, whether such state is the state of manufacture or not. Number 2. Where the dutiable goods are not manufactured in bond in the state in which such goods are manufactured. Subject to the other provisions contained in this Act, the duties aforesaid shall be collected in such manner as may be prescribed. The explanation of dutiable goods are said to be manufactured in bond within the meaning of this section if they are allowed to be manufactured without payment of any duty of excise leviable under any law for the time being in force in respect of alcohol. It may be narcotic drugs or narcotic, which is to be used as an ingredient in the manufacturing of such goods. Now here little bit I have explained what is excise duty. Excise duty is a form of indirect tax that is levied on goods that have been manufactured in the country. It is levied by government. It ideally has to be paid by the manufacturer of goods at the time of introduction of goods into the market. Hence, it is commonly referred to the manufacturing tax. So excise duty is to be paid by the manufacturer before and during the launching of product in the market, and this excise duty is also referred as a manufacturing tax to be paid by manufacturer. Each country establishes its own standard as to whether a shipped item is considered a document, non-dutiable, or non-document dutiable. The documented may be non-dutiable or non-documents may be dutiable. In most cases, documents that do not have any commercial value are non-dutiable. However, documents with a commercial value are normally dutiable. Now rebate on duty on alcohol, etc. supplied for manufacture of dutiable goods. Where alcohol, narcotic drug or narcotic had been supplied to a manufacturer of any dutiable goods for use as an ingredient of such goods by or under the authority of the collecting government, and a duty of excise on the goods so supplied had already been recovered by such government under any law for the time being in force, the collecting government shall, on the application being made to it in this behalf, grant in respect of the duty of excise leviable under this Act, a rebate to such manufacturer of the excess, if any, of the duty so recovered over the duty liable under this Act. Recovery of sums due to government. In respect of the duty of excise and any other sums of any kind payable to the collecting government under any of the provisions of this Act or any of the rules made thereunder, the excise officer empowered by the said rules to levy such duty or requires the payment of such sums may deduct the amount so payable for any money owing to person from whom such sums may be recoverable or due, which may be in his hands or under his disposal or control, or may recover the amount by attachments and sale of dutiable goods belonging to such person, and if the amount payable is not so recovered, he may prepare a certificate signed by him specifying the amount due from the person liable to pay the sum and send it to the collector of the district in which such person resides or conducts his business. And the said collector, on receipt of such certificate, shall proceed to recover from said person the amount specified therein in the same manner as an arrear of land revenue.